In the world of entertainment, filled with bright lights, audience applause, and fan cheers, there is something far more subtle, deeper, and more heart-stirring than mere popularity. It is love, love that is not expressed in words, but shown through actions. And when we talk about Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, it's hard not to get caught up in the wave of emotions, because their story seems to be written with ink of sincerity that only the heart can read. Wang Yibo has always been known as a cold, quiet, even mysterious person. He is not the type of man who easily says, "I love you," or flashes a big smile all the time. But behind his cold facade, there is something very different when he is around Xiao Zhan. Fans who have followed them since the filming of The Untamed know very well that Yibo's interactions with Xiao Zhan always feel different. Not exaggerated, not contrived, but real. The way he looks at him, the way he moves closer, the way he makes sure Xiao Zhan is okay, all of that is the language of unspoken love. We may never hear Yibo say out loud, "I love you, Xiao Zhan." But through his thousands of small actions, the message is more than clear. There's a saying that goes, "True love isn't measured by how often you say it, but by how sincerely you show it." And that's exactly what Wang Yibo always does. Let's take a look at some moments that make fans' hearts flutter. When Yibo protects Xiao Zhan in a crowd. On many occasions, especially at public events filled with cameras and fans, Yibo would unconsciously move a little closer, stand nearer, or even gently reach out his hand to protect Xiao Zhan from the pushing crowd. He never said, "I'll protect you," but his body instinctively took on that role. When a look speaks 1,000 words. There are hundreds of fan cams circulating, showing how Yibo often looks at Xiao Zhan in a different way. It's not the usual gaze between co-workers. It's a gaze full of admiration, respect, and something much deeper, love. Fans often cry just from seeing a short clip where Yibo can't hide his small smile when looking at Xiao Zhan. Secret signals behind the scenes. They may not be able to freely show everything in public, but observant fans know very well. There are love codes that they often share. Hand gestures, subtle smiles, or just brief eye contact that only two people who are connected at heart can understand. What makes this story even more emotional is the fact that Yibo never tries to wrap his love in dramatic gestures. He doesn't write love poems in front of the media. He doesn't shout out his feelings. But precisely because of that, the love he shows feels much more real. Imagine, in an entertainment world full of falsehoods and image building, there is a Wang Yibo who chooses to show his love in the simplest way, with loyalty, protection, and constant attention. Fans often write tearful comments after witnessing their interactions. "I can feel how sincere Yibo is through his every action toward Xiao Zhan." They don't need words, because their love is clear in their eyes. True love doesn't need to be flaunted. It just needs to be done. And Yibo has proven that. It's no wonder that every time there's a small moment between them, the entire fandom goes wild. Because every detail feels like a piece of the puzzle of love that further completes their big story. If Xiao Zhan is a warm, friendly figure who always smiles, then Wang Yibo is the opposite. Cold, mysterious, and rarely speaks. However, it is precisely these differences that make this story so beautiful. When Yibo does something small for Xiao Zhan, it becomes extraordinary. Because we know it comes from the deepest part of his heart. When he remembers small details about Xiao Zhan's habits. When he adjusts himself so that Xiao Zhan feels comfortable in front of people. When he hides his own emotions to keep Xiao Zhan calm. All of that is Yibo's language of love, a language that perhaps not everyone can understand, but one that is powerful enough to make millions of fans cry because they feel the sincerity that radiates from it. One of the most heartwarming things is Yibo's consistency. Even though storms of gossip, rumors, and public pressure come and go, He never once shows any sign of wanting to walk away. He remains standing in the same place, by Xiao Zhan's side. For many people, silence can mean surrender or indifference. But for Yibo, silence is a form of loyalty. He doesn't need to respond to rumors, doesn't need to argue with the media, because his actions are more than enough to silence everything. Fans believe that this kind of loyalty can only come from truly sincere love. In the entertainment world, many artists deliberately flaunt their relationships, making them look glamorous and full of sweet words. But the story of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan feels different. Their love does not need to be flaunted. It is hidden behind small smiles, brief glances, and simple actions. But that is precisely where its strength lies. Because true love does not need to be announced to the world. It is enough for those who experience it to feel it. And magically, fans can feel it too. That's why every time they appear together, the entire fandom seems to lose its breath, feeling the energy of love that is so real. If we look at their journey, it feels like piecing together a puzzle of love whose pieces are scattered across many small moments. Each piece, from the look in their eyes, the silent protection, to the faint smile, forms a bigger picture, a love that is calm, deep, and eternal. And what makes this story even more beautiful is the fact that the puzzle is not yet complete. There are still so many pieces they will reveal in the future. Every day, fans wait, wondering, what other pieces of love will they give us? Finally, we arrive at one undeniable truth. Wang Yibo loves Xiao Zhan through his actions. He may never have said it directly in public, but anyone willing to open their heart can see it clearly. Like stars in the night sky, sometimes love is covered by clouds. But stars never go out. They're always there, shining faithfully. So is Wang Yibo's love for Xiao Zhan. Perhaps this is why millions of fans around the world continue to support them, continue to cry, continue to feel connected to this story. Because the love they show is not ordinary love. It is a love filled with real actions, silent loyalty, and beauty that needs no words. Wang Yibo has proven that true love does not need to be expressed with sweet words. It is enough to show it through consistent actions, and that is stronger than 1,000 words. And for Xiao Zhan, he has become the recipient of that most beautiful love.